What it is, y'all, it's your boy Jones, and welcome to the bonus edition of E&J Full Court Shot on the NBA Play-In Tournament. Obviously, this is the first time the NBA is doing something like this. Some people like it, some people don't. But regardless, it's here. So I'm here to make my predictions, and I need you to make the same predictions in the comments for your boy. So let's get into it. Let's start off in the Eastern Conference. But before we do, I got to shout out my New York Knicks for making the playoffs finally since 2013. It's been a long goddamn time, but we finally back. So now let's go make some noise. But now with this play-in tournament, we're going to start with the 7 and 8 because the winner of that gets to go play Boston. And that ain't no easy task. That's one of the best teams in the league right now. So tough one, but I know you still want that spot. So Boston and Washington, I think this game has, big numbers written all over it. High scoring game, exciting highlights, all that. But all that being said, I'm going with Washington Wizards because Russ and them boys is on a run. They are on fire right now. Russ is not trying to lose, even with chasing all these records with the triple dubs. They just been on fire, and this is what they wanted. They wanted an opportunity to make it, and now they have their opportunity. And Boston, they just haven't been consistent. They've had their moments where you look at them and you're like, all right, that's the team that, we expected to be, top 5 in the Eastern Conference. And then they, one of them gets injured, or one of them, just isn't playing to the best of their ability on a consistent basis. Brad Stevens, I think a lot is on the line for him, because if he doesn't get out of this tournament, he might be out of there. Let's just put it like that. And it will be well deserved, because that team is too talented to have not gotten back to the Eastern Conference championship since the first time you guys did it. And you took LeBron and those boys to Game 7. You were that close to reaching the finals, and you haven't been back since. So Brad Stevens, hot seat. You need to win this. You need to get in the playoffs, at least. You'll still be on the hot seat. Now I'm talking about the 9 and 10 spot. You got Indiana Pacers going up against the Charlotte Hornets. Very interesting matchup, because the winner still has to play another game before they can, lock up that 8th spot and play Philadelphia 76ers. So very interesting, because you're going to need an extra game in order to get in. So very interesting. But in that matchup, I got the young Bulls. I got the Charlotte Hornets, because those young guys are killing it right now. They're playing great team basketball. Injuries decimated them a little bit, especially LaMelo Ball, him going out for a while, looking like the rookie of the year. Definitely should be. And I think that's just, that game is written all over for them to win that. So no disrespect to the Pacers, they just haven't proven anything. They've gotten to the playoffs the past few years, but they haven't done anything, and no team is really scared of them. So I got the young guys on that one. And now they have to play the Boston Celtics. As my prediction would go, Boston would lose to Washington. So it would be the Pacers and, Charlotte versus Boston. And I'm still going with the young Bulls on that one. I'm still going with Charlotte. I think Boston, like I said, is inconsistent. They have too many opportunities where they could be great, and they just don't do it. So I wouldn't be surprised at all if Charlotte were to get that W against a very experienced Boston team and a very talented Boston team. Still going with the Charlotte Hornets on that one. No disrespect to Boston. I just don't have any trust in them anymore. I don't. That's like me with the Sixers and the Bucks last year. Great regular seasons, come playoffs, I don't got no trust in them. That's what the Boston Celtics have been doing for the past couple seasons, and it's pathetic, because, like I said, they were one game away from an Eastern Conference to the finals. Fuck all the Eastern Conference shit. They were there. They were one game away from the finals, and they just haven't been back. So that like I said, Brad Stevens, your job might be on the line. It should, at least. I got Charlotte getting that last spot in the Eastern Conference, going up against Philly. like I said before, we will make our predictions on the full podcast. Now, moving over to the West side. Let's start off with the 7 and 8 seed because, like I said, with the East, the winner of that game goes to play Phoenix. That's it. You just need to win one game in this 7 and 8 spot. And this is a very interesting game because it's the Lakers versus the Warriors. This is a matchup that we're used to seeing. Well, we're used to seeing LeBron and Curry in the finals. Now they're going to be matching up game 1 in the play-in tournament. It's not a full series, but it'll be interesting regardless because we've seen what Curry and the Warriors have been doing lately. Curry has been hot. LeBron has even called him the MVP of the league, and I respect that because Curry has been amazing. He's not my MVP, but he definitely deserves the respect that he's getting from every player that praises him. But that being said, them Lakers are healthy now. LeBron's back. AD's back. Schroeder's back. We got the big penguin in the lineup now. The rotation is looking beautiful. The role guys are coming in playing lights out basketball. I love it. And I think it's only going to get better as the playoffs roll in. And this is the first test. Actually, this is really the second test because the first test was to try to get into the playoffs without making it in that play-in. They didn't do that because obviously they lost earlier in the season and the tiebreaker didn't favor them. So injuries happen. We know that's a part of the game. But they're healthy now. AD is starting to look like AD. Bron is slowly getting into himself. And we know playoff Bron is a problem. And this is, in his head, is playoff Bron. So I expect the Lakers to win this game easily. I wouldn't be shocked if the Warriors won because, like I said, Curry can just get hot. That team can just get hot. I wouldn't be surprised if they got that W, but I'm going with the Lakers. It'll be a close one. Now moving to that 9-10 spot. Memphis and the San Antonio Spurs. The Spurs are back in there. Still got some work to do, but they're back. And like I said, with the East, this winner has to play twice. And I'm going with Memphis. I love what they've been doing. Obviously, injuries have decimated them as well, and that's part of the reason why they sit at that 9th spot. But I think they're more talented, better rounded team than the Spurs. I just believe that. No disrespect to Pop and what he's been able to do over the past 20 years. He just doesn't have that team anymore. So I'm going with Memphis. So that leads to Memphis versus the Warriors, who they just played yesterday, and Curry had 46, to get that last spot to go play the Utah Jazz. And I'm going with the Warriors again. I think Curry is going to have another one of those nights, especially after losing to the Lakers in the previous game to get that 7th spot. So, yeah, Warriors will win that game, and I think they will win it handily. I think Curry's going to have another one of those nights, and that team is just going to, run with the motion on that one. So that will be the final team. So I got Warriors going up against Utah, getting that last spot. Lakers going against Phoenix, and those last 2 spots. Then on the East, you got Charlotte going against Philly, and Washington going against Brooklyn. And those are the last final spots of the playoffs, and that starts on May 22nd, and I can't wait. Like I said, E&J Full Court Shot podcast coming, the full one, with your boy E. It's your boy Jones. Jones for Sports. We make sports better.